What is going on here? Okay. So let's go ahead and get started today. We're actually going to get started in a kind of an early shoulder chest opener. Hello. We're going to get started today in a fish pose. We won't be here for a terribly long time. So just know that if you're feeling a little intimidated by coming into this shape, that we won't be here for long. So we're going to start lying on our backs, and we're going to take a really gentle version of fish pose today. Hands by the sides, palms turned down. Now what you're going to do is start to walk your elbows in, and your chest is going to lift up. You're going to let your head drop back and rest on the floor. So it's this little lifting of the heart to make this a bit easier. Really flex deep into the feet. And if you have a blanket or pillow and you would love to bring that underneath the chest just for a little bit of support, any blanket will do, and it'll be more of a supported fish. But it'll still get us nice and open in the chest. Deep flex in the feet. We're only going to hang out here for 5 deep breaths. So if you do not have the support under your back, think about squeezing the elbows into the ribs, lifting the heart up, and taking a deep breath in and out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 3 more. One more time, deep breath in, big sigh. And then we're going to come flat onto our backs. So if you do have a support underneath your shoulder blades, go ahead and slide that out. Otherwise, walk the hands by your sides. And we're going to come into just a little kind of shavasana here, but feel free to find some movement. So maybe that's rolling the shoulders or windshield wipering the feet. Letting the arms come out to their natural diagonal and turning the palms down. And then let the big toes hug towards each other as well. So you really want to feel everything pulling in from the outside towards your belly button. Again, finding that slow, steady, smooth breath. Start to add a little whispering sigh at the back of the throat, almost like you're fogging a mirror with both inhale and exhale. Finding your Ujjayi breath. Even though we're still working in the body here, find some softness in the eyes and the jaw. And belly button pulls to your back. We're going to walk the feet in and use the core to do this. And so you'll feel a little bit of work here. And then bring your hands to your hips Windshield wiper your knees. Hug your knees all the way into the chest. Keep this side to side movement going. And then cross the ankles, rock vertically on your spine, and come all the way up to sit. And you can take a few rolls if that's what it takes. Just want to come up and find a comfortable cross-legged seat. If you have a blanket handy, you can prop up underneath your seat. That way you're lifted up a little higher, a lot more space in the lower back. And then find somewhere along your thighs for your hands to rest. Normally, when we start our practice, we come into a fully relaxed shape, but I wanted to get a little bit of energy going today. Not that we're going to have a super crazy active practice, but a little more active before the cold weather kind of tanks us out. So let's bring hands somewhere along the thighs. Sit up nice and tall. Draw your shoulder blades down and together. And let your chin tuck all the way to your chest. Inhale, right ear rolls towards the right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Keep this movement going slow and steady. Every inhale drawing a different ear to its corresponding shoulder. Every exhale bringing the chin back through center, and really find those long, smooth breaths here that we're going to use throughout our practice. Starting to match movement with breath right away. The next time the right ear rolls to the right shoulder, pause here. Keep the heart lifting. Bring the right hand down beside you. Lift the left arm all the way up and over. Keep both sits bones rooting on the floor. And think about softening into that right elbow just a little bit so we can get a deeper reach through the left hand. Inhale here. Exhale, reach a little further. Inhale, left arm up to the sky, right arm anchors down. Exhale, reach over the right ear. Inhale, left arm lifts up. Exhale, reach it to the right. One more of those. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, reach, keep it going, going, going. And we're going to frame the right knee with the left hand. Eyes to the floor, so we want that nice long neck. We don't want to look ahead of us and shorten our neck here. Spread your fingers wide and dial your shoulders to the right. Getting that nice twist from the center of the back. We're working into the upper body, so we'll love that later. One more cycle of breath here. Big inhale. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Unwind. Hands to thighs, heart lifts up, shoulders roll back and down. You might feel that unevenness from one side to the other. We're going to fix it, don't worry. Chin to chest, shoulders up, back and down. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Back to this movement. Keep it going, matching your movement to your breath. One more round. Take your time. The next time your left ear rolls over the left shoulder, pause here. Left hand comes down to the floor, right arm reaches up and over. Ease it into this one. So we just want to make sure our sits bones are still rooted onto the mat. Those top fingers can spread really wide, and we're just reaching over to the left. Soften into the left elbow to find more space. Find that inhale. Exhale, reach further. We're going to switch it up. Inhale, right arm reaches to the sky. Eyes look up to the top thumb. Exhale, reach it over that left ear. Inhale, back up, eyes to thumb. Exhale, reach it to the left. One more round. Inhale, lengthen it up. Exhale, frame that left knee with the right arm. We find that long reach. Spread your fingers wide. Dial your shoulders to the left. So again, we're targeting the upper middle back with this twist. And it doesn't have to be a huge, forceful twist. It can be a nice, gentle. In fact, the more gentle you are with it, the deeper you can go. So use your breath here. Inhale to reach through the tips of the ears. Exhale to twist a little deeper. One more round of breath. We'll unwind, hands back to the thighs, sit up nice and tall. Reach both arms out and up. Find your widest wingspan, even if you've got walls in the way. Soften those elbows to brush the walls. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, lift, lengthen, find that biggest stretch possible. Exhale, hands to heart center, and we'll pause here. Press the palms together. Spread the fingers wide and lift your heart to your thumbs. We find all this room in the upper body. Head bows slightly towards the chest. And we'll begin our practice with the vibration of Om, signifying the beginning and the end. One time. Inhale fully to receive the breath. Exhale, completely empty out. We'll inhale for Om. Release your hands, shake out your wrists, roll your shoulders, and make your way to a tabletop, hands and knees. If the knees are feeling a little sensitive, and again, you have any props, blankets, or coats, jackets, sweatshirts, anything that's soft, if you would like to place that under your knees, that can add a little extra padding. And you might want it tonight. I don't know that we're going to spend a ton of time on hands and knees, but a blanket never hurts to have to be nearby. So whether it's on or off the mat might be beneficial. As you come into your tabletop, find a little shifting of the hips, just so that we can work into those outer hips and get them nice and warmed up before we start to stretch deep into them. And then pause and just notice your tabletop as it is. And we're going to start to adjust it. Spread your fingers really wide. And then press down into the heels of the hands and feel the arms lengthen, like we're pushing the floor away. And then as that happens, pull your belly button up to your spine. You'll feel the tailbone lengthen. And then look between your knees and see if you see your feet at all. And if you do, separate them so that you don't see them anymore. We're going to tuck them behind the knees and take a moment to really stretch into the tops of the feet and then anchor them down. It's going to give us a much more solid foundation so that we isolate this next movement into just the spine. The hands are planting, pushing away, feet are rooted. We're going to inhale, sink the belly down, lift the face up, come to cow pose. Exhale, push the floor away, empty, 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 round the spine, cat pose. Inhale, sink the belly back into cow. Exhale, rounding into cat. And just like our head movement from just a few minutes ago, start to find this with your own breath. But really make these movements intentional. So not just rushing through them. We do these pretty much every practice, so it might be something that we feel like we can phone in on. But instead, let's see if we can articulate it, really feeling this movement ripple through the spine, making sure that everything that is on the mat is anchored to the mat, so our feet stay where we just put them. Just a few more rounds here without moving the hands or feet. If any other movement would feel nice, like rocking back and forth with your arching and rounding, or swaying the hips side to side, or maybe even just pausing in one shape or the other. Go ahead and find that as we make our way through just a few more rounds of cat-cow. And the next time you come into cow pose with the spine rounded, pause here. Bring your big toes together now. Walk your knees out as wide as the mat, and we'll send hips back to the heels. Walk the hands forward, coming to an active wide-legged child's pose. Active because the arms are reaching forward. Notice if the shoulders squeeze up towards the ears and draw them a little wider. So the feeling is reaching through the fingertips, but it's almost like downward dog here. We anchor the heels of the hands so the shoulders and the hips can move back towards the heels. So we want to find this nice long reach through the arms and then good deep hip stretch. If the forehead can rest, let it drop down. 3 deep breaths here. Good, dig those fingers into the mat. Peel yourself back to tabletop. Walking the hands under the shoulders, bringing the knees under the hips and the feet behind the knees. Push into the tops of the feet, and actually let's do this a different way. Tuck your toes. Tuck those toes on the mat. Hug your ribs towards your spine. Press into the hands, press into the toes. We're going to start to hover the knees off of the mat. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Start to stretch the legs long, hips go up and back, heels reach towards the floor. So we're in this kind of short down dog. You can walk the hands, one hand print forward, maybe the feet walk back, 1 foot print back, or a half a foot print. We want to feel like an upside down V. So you really want to feel those hips higher than the head. Let your eyes look back between your toes, pedal out your feet. Keep your hands nice and rooted, fingers really wide. Allow yourself to feel the space between each finger. Good. Let both heels of the feet relax towards the mat so they're not even reaching. They're just hanging heavy. Eyes look between the thumbs. And we'll take a slow walk to the top of the mat. As you come forward, we'll fold and relax the hands. Feet are at least 2/5 of distance apart. You can always bend your knees to test that out. Maybe you take opposite elbows or keep those fingertips on the floor. Maybe bring your hands behind the legs. Explore a little and commit to what feels the best in your body. We're going to be doing a lot of shoulders back. So take this moment of ragdoll to get heavy and loose in the torso. And of course, a hamstring stretch here as well. Movement or stillness, yogi's choice. Release whatever you're holding on to. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back, eyes to the floor. Exhale, fold, plant your palms, step just your left foot back. Tuck the toes on the mat, release the left knee down, and we'll untuck those toes, sweep the arms up, frame the ears, crescent lunge. Press down into that front foot, let the thumbs travel back behind you and your eyes lift to the ceiling. One inhale here. Exhale, fold, frame the front foot. Back toes tucked, knee lifts up, we'll step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, high plank, top of a push-up. Bring your knees to the floor, keep your toes tucked. The chest is going to come a little bit forward of the wrist, and then you're going to bend the elbows. Think slow motion push up here, but the chest is going to come to the floor. The hips are going to stay high, and the chin is going to rest. So a little awkward, but we're already warming up the upper back. Ashta Pranam. Reach your toes back, let your hips grind to the floor. We'll shrug the shoulders up and back, elbows hug in, baby cobra. Chin to chest, travel through hands and knees back to your downward facing dog. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, heels lift up. Exhale, knees bend, eyes forward. Travel to the top of your mat, take a slow walk or one big step, and fold as you arrive. Halfway lift, long spine, eyes to the floor. Fold, plant your palms, step just your right foot back. Keep those toes tucked as you lower the knee gently to the floor. And then once you get there, untuck the toes and anchor down through the right foot. Arms sweep up by the ears in our low lunge. Get your balance here, and then start to play with the thumbs drifting back, the eyes lifting up. Find that arch in the upper back. One more inhale. Exhale, frame the front foot. Tuck the right toes, knee lifts up, step it back, down dog. One more time with this version of our vinyasa. We'll roll it forward, high plank. Knees, chest, and chin to the floor, Ashta Pranam. Reach your toes back, shrug your shoulders up as the hips root. Chin to chest, toes tuck, hips lift, down dog. 3 deep breaths here. One more. Inhale, heels lift up. Knees bend, eyes forward. This time you can walk, step, or give a little hop to the top of your mat. Find that long spine. Fold it, let it go. Deep bend in your knees, scoop your tailbone forward. Press your feet down and we'll roll up nice and slow to Tadasana. And I know I'm going to go off camera here, so let me adjust that. As I do that, you guys find some kind of movement. Shake out your wrists, shrug your shoulders. Yeah, this will be fine because I'll be up and down, so I might be a little cut off sometimes. So in our Tadasana, shake it out, and then find your stillness, find your grounding. Your feet might stay hips distance apart. They might come a little closer together. You really just want to feel where you feel grounded and balanced, not wavy. If you're feeling a little wobbly, step your feet out a little more. We're going to find that still standing Tadasana. Anchor through all 4 corners of both feet. Let your wrists feel heavy, so they're just kind of dangling by the sides. And then lift your heart up, reach your tailbone down. Good way to think of this is energy coming up through the front and rooting down through the back. So we find this sort of tall stance, long, sturdy, standing shape. And then with all of that working, we're going to go back to that wide wingspan. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Palms press overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step it back to plank pose, top of a push-up. We've lowered knees, chest, chin twice. You can keep that going, or with your exhale, come halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, scooping the chest forward to up dog. Exhale, over the toes, back to downward facing. Deep breath in and out. Now, as we go through practice, you'll have your option of vinyasas. You'll also have the option to skip them if you're not feeling it. Listen to your body and take breaks when you need to. You can always come to down dog instead of moving through wet flow. Heels lift up, deep breath in. Knees bend, eyes forward, exhale. Walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Long spine once you get there. Fold to let it go. Root into your feet, reverse swan dive. Arms are going to lift you out and up. Right into the next one, fold it forward, exhale. Halfway lift, long spine. Plant the palms, step back, flow through your vinyasa of choice. We'll all meet back in our down dog. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Reach your right leg back and up. Exhale, step the foot forward. This time we're going to keep the back knee off the floor. Sweep the arms up by the ears. Crescent lunge. Palms press overhead. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms up to the sky. Inhale. Elbows bend, head in the back of the hands. Exhale. Elbows press back. Feel the bottom tips of your shoulder blades lift your heart. Eyes to the sky. Inhale here. Reach back to the left heel. One more cycle of breath. Stretch your arms back to the sky. Unlace the fingers, reach through the tips. Exhale, reach down, frame the front foot. Vinyasa, or step it right back to downward facing dog, yogi's choice. From down dog, lift your left leg back and up. Step your foot between your thumbs. Back knee stays off the mat, arms reach to frame the ears. Palms press overhead. Interlace the fingers, palms up to the sky, deep breath in. Exhale, elbows bend, head to the back of the hands. Loop the shoulders up, back and down, those bottom tips of the shoulder blades pressing the ribs forward, elbows nice and wide, eyes to the sky. One more cycle of breath. Reach the arms to the sky, unlace the fingers, reach up through the tips. Exhale, frame the front foot, step it back, vinyasa or down dog. And from down dog, we'll lift the right leg back and up. Knee comes towards the nose to step the foot forward. And then this time, the left heel is going to come down. Check out your feet right now. The heels are lining up, or if the hips are feeling a little tight, one space, think of like a floorboard with a space between the heels. Those back toes are pointing towards the top left corner of the mat. Sweep your arms up to frame the ears, bend into that front knee, warrior one. Really anchor down through the back pinky toe here. Thumbs are traveling back behind you. We're going to lift the heart up and straighten the front knee. Bring your hands out to a T and then behind your back. So the thumbs are down. You're going to take opposite wrists or elbows and then step your back foot, one foot step in. Should make this feel a little less awkward. heart lifts up. We're gonna fold here over the front leg. Think right hip drawing back, left hip coming forward. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Once you can't fold any longer, let your chin relax to your chest, but keep that space between your shoulder blades reaching forward. So this is deep into the hamstrings, but also working into the upper back, keeping with our heart openers. One more inhale, one more exhale. Inhale, come all the way back up. Release your hands. Step your back foot about 1 foot back, and then turn that back foot parallel to the short end of the mat. Bend into the front knee. Warrior two. Eyes over that front middle finger. Front palm up and back. Radiant warrior, inhale. Exhale, right elbow to right thigh. Left arm reaches over. Root down through your back pinky toe. Reach through your top middle finger. Inhale, come back up to stand. Straighten both legs. Shift your left hip back in space. Reach your right fingers forward. Bring it down. Calf, ankle, maybe up to your thigh. Left arm reaching up and slightly back. So just that little subtle twist from the upper body, this time an open version. Eyes looking up to that top thumb. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhale. Exhale, reach a little further. Inhale, come all the way back up to stand. Hands to hips. We'll step the back foot towards the front foot just a little bit, and then turn your whole torso to face forward, and we'll continue that journey up. Now I'm gonna face away from you to show you this. We're gonna come back to our Tadasana, and then just find a little standing back bend. You're gonna take your hands to the small of your back, fingers pointing down. Feet about hips distance apart, maybe a little wider. If you've got wide hips like me, you want a lot of room here. So hands to the small of the back. We're gonna push the hips forward, draw the elbows in, lift the heart up to lean back. So you're thinking that your elbows are kind of making a little shelf for the back of the chest. Hips keep pushing forward. Standing back bend, if it feels okay on your neck, let your head drop back. If not, press the chin to the chest. Good, we'll start to come back up. Release the hands down. Step the feet in a little closer, especially if you took them out wide. 3 breaths in our Tadasana. Find that stillness. And we'll reach both arms out and up. Dive forward, exhale. Halfway lift, big breath in. Plant your palms, vinyasa, or step it right to down dog. Good. From your down dog, lift your left leg back and up. Step the foot forward between the thumbs. Back heel to the mat, heels in a line or one little floorboard of space between the heels. We're gonna come up warrior one. So that back big toe pointing towards the top right corner of your mat. Bending into the front knee. Hips working in a line. More than likely that left hip is gonna come forward, so really pull it back with still bending your front knee. Anchor the back pinky toe in. Let the shoulders loop back, lifting the heart, thumbs travel back. And then we're gonna straighten the front knee. Arms come out to a T, thumbs down. We'll take opposite elbows or wrists behind the back. And then again, step your back foot in so that we're a little more stable. Anatomy is different. So really just when you feel that this is a sturdy, steady stance, that's how close you want to be. Hips are pointing forward, lining up with the top edge of the mat. We'll fold forward here, Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Keep the work in the hips. Let the left hip pull back, right hip slide forward. When you can't fold anymore, relax your chin to your chest. Keep the space between the shoulders reaching as if it was going to come past the top of your head. And let's inhale, come all the way up. Release the hands down. I'm going to change my feet here just so I don't have to turn my back to you. We're going to come into warrior two. So that left foot, right foot now, steps back, turns parallel to the short edge of your mat. Front heel to back arch or back heel alignment. Again, if your hips are like, we need more room here, give them more space. We're not trying to force them into the pose. We're trying to use the pose to work with our bodies as they are in any given moment. So notice what's going on. Eyes over that front middle finger. We're going to flip the front palm up and back. Big breath in. Exhale, left elbow to left knee. Right arm reaches over the right ear. Inhale, come all the way back up, warrior two. Straighten your front knee. Slide the right hip back, reach the left fingers forward to come down. Ankle, shin, thigh, that right arm comes up and slightly back. We feel this deep stretch between the shoulders, eyes to the top thumb. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. A little softness in that front knee is better than locking it back. So just remember that a little buoyancy is never a terrible thing. Reach through those top fingers. One more inhale. One more exhale. Inhale, come all the way back up. And we'll keep the legs straight. Bring the hands to the hips. Front toes turn parallel to the back. So maybe the feet are even pigeon toeing a bit. So we want a nice wide stance. If your pinky toe edges are lifting up, that's too wide. Walk them in a little bit. We want all four corners of both feet grounded. Hands behind the back. Interlace your fingers. Let your knuckles reach to the floor without locking the elbows. So again, if you're squeezing those elbows in and they feel like really brittle, right, look dry and really locked in, we don't want that. Keep softness in the elbows and instead think about the shoulder blades reaching back and down, because that's really what where we want to feel this stretch, the shoulders, not the elbows, right? So shoulders are doing the work, elbows are soft. We're gonna fold here. Knuckles can hang out on the sacrum or start to reach up. Keep the fingers interlaced, keep the elbows soft. I know the temptation is there to really lock them in, but you're gonna feel much better about the shoulders lifting up and back than the elbows pulling in. Send your weight towards your toes, chin to the chest, 3 deep breaths. Your next inhale pulls you all the way up. Release the hands. Left foot turns back towards the top of the mat. Steps the right foot forward. 3 breaths in Tadasana. Wrists are heavy. One more time, big breath in, arms reach out and up. Exhale, dive forward, fingers in line with toe tips. Halfway lift, big breath in. Option for one final vinyasa, or breathe in your down dog, yogi's choice. From your down dog, bring your knees to the mat, sink your hips to the heels. We'll come into child's pose. As you do that, I'm going to change my camera again. So I can go back in frame. The rest of class now. Child's pose. Spoiler alert. So from your child's pose, let's bring the forearms to the ground, hands to prayer, and we're going to drift our thumbs behind the head. Knees can be wide or completely together or somewhere in between. We really just want this nice shoulder opening moment here. Very restful shoulder opening moment. And then we're going to reach the arms long and press down into the hands, come through tabletop. We'll walk the hands forward to let the heart melt down into heart chakra pose. Notice where the feet are. We don't want the big toes together. We want the heels behind the knees. So separate those feet as wide as the knees. And then bring the forearms down. Walk the legs back. We'll land in Sphinx pose. So Sphinx, and you might want to check yourself out here. It's really hard to see without looking. It's hard to feel this alignment out. So elbows under shoulders, you can see that I landed slightly out of alignment. I'm just going to pull them back and work that nice 90-degree angle. And it's always harder to feel this one out than it is to physically see it. We take a moment to check out what's going on. And then relax your lower body. That might mean walking those thighs back a bit so we feel a little more release in the lower back. Eyes about 3 feet on the floor in front of you. This is a really great shape to take if you are spending a lot of time, as we all are right now, in front of computers, doing Zoom meetings, or like you're just scrolling on your phone. We have those text shoulders, are all hunched over. So take a moment here if you're feeling that at any time. Anytime you can pop into this shape, it's a nice little correction for that. Really allow yourself to be as heavy as possible here for the last 3 breaths. We'll spend in this one. Come on down across the forearms. Bring the forehead or one cheek to rest. And then pick up your feet and windshield wiper your knees. And let's bring the tops of the feet down. Hands underneath the shoulders. We spent a few vinyasas coming through baby cobra today, so that's where we're going to start. Hips anchor down, shoulders loop up and back, baby cobra. Glue the tops of your feet to the mat, relax your glutes. Stay here or press down to start to straighten the elbows. Maybe you come halfway up to that Bhujangasana. Maybe you come all the way up. The goal here is to not let the hip points come off of the mat. So we don't want to come all the way up like this. We want to keep those hips grounded. Elbows bent is much better than coming too far up off the ground. Deep, deep belly back bend here, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. One more inhale. Exhale, roll it down. Flip over onto your back. Flip is more aggressive than it needs to be. Roll on gently over to your back and come on down. Feet to the floor, knees pointing up. And then we'll give it a little windshield wiper here. Good. Find your stillness. Notice what your feet are doing. And if they feel like, I always say like if the edges are coming up. So if the pinky toes don't feel quite as grounded as the big toes, take a moment to walk them wider or a little closer. This is those moments where we really have to feel it out because it's harder for me to see and tell you where your feet are. So just know that you want to feel all 10 toes rooting into the mat. In fact, think about the space between each toe rooting into the mat. And then bring your hands by your sides. Tuck your chin to your chest. And feeling like the feet are going to slide forward, even though they're not going to physically go anywhere, we'll let that lift the hips up and inhale into bridge. Setu Bandhasana. Working into the tips of the toes can help you relax your glutes. And then think about the chest coming towards the chin, chin lifting to the sky. 3 breaths. Exhale, come on down. Windshield wiper the knees. And we'll set up for just one more bridge pose. Judging by how that first one went, maybe deciding to walk the feet in even closer or wider or narrow. And then again, palms down, shrug the shoulders underneath your chest and inhale hips to the sky. This time, maybe you feel like bringing those hands to meet and really walking the shoulders underneath, making this a stronger bridge, deeper upper body back bend. 3 more breaths. Come on down nice and slow. And hug your knees into your chest. Wiggle your shoulders out wide. Rock side to side or in a little circle. And we'll find a twist here. Let both knees come down to the left. Arms release out to cactus arms or out to a T, depending on how much space you have or what feels best in your body. Sometimes there's something so nice about that bent elbow cactus arm shape. If it feels okay, turn your face to the right. Relax the space between your shoulders. 3 deep breaths. Knees back through center and over to the right. Again, you can change it up here if you want to reach those arms to a T or bend at the elbows. If it feels okay, turn your face to the left. Soft eyes, soft jaw, soft glutes. 3 deep breaths. Hug your knees back into your chest. And we'll take happy baby today, taking the pinky toe edges of your feet or the backs of your thighs, depending on which is more accessible. If you would love some movement here, we're not going to go into forward fold, so you can find that forward fold experience by stretching both legs long, or maybe you take them out wide like a straddle, or keep the knees bent, which can be a nice hip and shoulder opener. Maybe a little bit of everything so you don't feel like you're missing out. And we will bring our legs all the way onto the mat, setting up for Shavasana. If you would love to take any final shapes or movements, feel free to do that before settling into our final relaxation pose. Take about a minute to get situated into whatever Shavasana is right for you, or whatever movements that you would like to take before we end there. And as you begin to settle in, squeeze your hands in a tight fist, squeeze your toes, squeeze your eyes shut, take a deep breath in, and a big sigh to let it go. to deepen your breath and bring small movements back into the body, wiggling fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Raise your arms overhead, full body stretch, reawakening into this space, this moment, this day. And then curl into a little ball on whichever side is your favorite right now. And pause here. Keeping your eyes heavy or closed and taking your time to get there. Build your way back into whatever seat is comfortable for you. And as you begin to build your way into that seat, find some kind of organic movement that feels good. Roll the shoulders, circle the wrists, maybe lean back and take one more nice little upper body back bend. We hadn't got enough of those. And then work your way back into your stillness in your comfortable cross-legged seat. Bring your hands somewhere to rest along your thighs or maybe on your knees, and close your eyes, finding space across the brow, space in the back of the jaw. Relax the shoulders, relax the glutes. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Deep breath in. Big sigh, let it go. We'll seal our practice once again with the vibration of Om. Gathering your hands at heart center, lifting your heart to your thumbs, bow your head to your heart, and we'll inhale for Om. Om. Bring the base of your thumbs to rest between your eyes and lift your gaze to invite wisdom in. Fold into yourself with gratitude for your practice. Namaste. Thank you all so much. If you have any questions, let me know. And my name is Ash. I'll be here next week to do a very slowed down practice as we come into that Christmas Eve or Christmas week. So expect it to be very low energy next week. Yeah, and I'll see you guys then. Stay warm.
Thanks, Ash.
Thank you.